Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. So I guess we will get started. It's a wonderful turnout for you, Barbara. I know you're a musicologist and you do a million things with global music, and you're going to do amazing things today. I've really enjoyed our conversations and the music you've shared with me. And I will mention that we're going to be doing some music tonight on channel 370 as well, including the song we're listening to right now. So if you want more of Barbara's handpicked music tonight, then feel free to tune into channel 370 right around the 6 o'clock hour. And with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the wonderful Barbara Lundquist for our global jukebox. Oh, I do want to say everyone is muted, so the music sounds clean, but Barbara will be directing me because I'm going to be DJing. So I'm going to mute myself. Barbara, take it away.
Okay. I am so glad you decided to join me this afternoon, but I have to warn you that there are some risks that we're facing together. I can't see you at all. So if you're signaling me, it's not working. All of the examples you'll hear today are from the internet on YouTube. So the sound quality of some is better than others, and we're going to have the effect of Zoom on the sound. So I apologize in advance. And there's other risks of Zoom, which we all understand now, time lags and flutters and frozen faces. And we'll probably have all of that too. But there is my major risk of not playing complete examples. There is so much music in the world, and I just decided that we just are going to stay under 5 minutes for each of the examples. And so if you want my playlist, you may have a copy. And as a matter of fact, let's just ditch the Hill Justice now. We can turn the sound off on the first one. Yeah. So we're going to have Ellen signaling you to turn that sound off, okay? Thank you. Okay, now I want to give credit to Alan because he's helping me deal with the technical aspects, and he's downstairs in the basement and I'm up here. He's programmed some examples of our time together tonight, as he mentioned, so you can watch some of those at 6 or 7. But I'm decided to take the risk of trying this global jukebox today for one reason. Music allows us to get to know each other. It reaches out to us, and as we listen, we pay attention to the cultural expression of different people, and it can create sustainable contact with other people over time. And that has been a valued part of my life, and I know yours as well. And so we have more of that today that we're celebrating. But in order to have those sustainable relationships with people around the world, we have to pay attention to the music, and we have to listen to it. And some of us are not used to listening to music we don't like, performed by people we don't know and people we may not like. So my giant request of you in this experiment is to try to keep yourself from rejecting what you're hearing. Keep listening. Try to find something about it that keeps you listening. or notice something about the musician, or maybe their left arm or their left ear or something, so that you can kind of keep your interest there. Now, I've organized all these musical examples around some important realizations about music. That is, musicians being and staying together. They can't just be playing any old way. They've got to stay together. How do they do that? And the timbres, that is the different tone qualities of both the instruments and the voices that help us to understand who we're hearing, what playing. And so that timbre is a word we want to use. So ensemble, being together, and timbre are two things I'm going to hit hard today. Also, expressiveness, that is the hearing and feeling of music's joy and the satisfaction, the poetry, and the spirit of the performance, whether there's energy or there's real coolness. There's both in music, and we want to celebrate that. And we even have one place where we go into a sociocultural setting. I don't know whether we're going to have time to do that now, because we may cut a few things. So I'll try to remind you of some of these terms before we hear these different examples so that you are familiar with them. And there's also music sprinkled throughout that you'll recognize enough that it'll keep you listening to things that are way unfamiliar. But we're going to start with what's way out and way unfamiliar. We're going to start with a Russian federal district in eastern Siberia, just north of Mongolia. There it's coming. And we're going to hear a man named Alash, who is a Tuvan throat singer. And what he does is sing a fundamental guttural sound and then shapes the overtones, the harmonics of that pitch with his tongue and the shape of his mouth. It's different. So get ready. This is your first, can you hang in there and listen to the whole thing example. Here we go. Okay, you can fade, Alan. Thank you. Okay, our next person we're going to hear is a person that is West African. He's from Port Harcourt in eastern Nigeria, and his father is Igbo, and I believe his mother's Yoruba. I found out a lot about him because he is singing on a group of songs a group of places that you can go to hear a lot of world music called NPR Tiny Desk Concerts. There's hundreds of them. See those words up there on the screen? Just look at those on YouTube and you can just have a feast of music for the rest of your life practically. There are hundreds of those. And I found him, and he writes the songs that he sings, and he's kind of a half rapper. It's sort of rap, but it's kind of hip hop, but it's African too. Watch the way the musicians move their heads and look at each other, because they're keeping with each other by feeling the rhythm at once. Listen to the instruments, especially the sophisticated chords on the keyboard player on the left when you see himself. Over 5 million people have watched this example. So here we go with Burna Boy. I think we may need a little volume.
Boss man, he go Jones so cute. When the bed do the enter body. On the girl them go shake their body. They go shake their body. Oluwa bona mo go no felly. Say mo go no felly. You no get money, you take up police. Me I dey love you gone. Say I take grace and no number, but I go spray you the money on your ma. You supposed to know, say me no be newcomer. So my baby make you no go dollar, no go dollar. When the bed do they enter body, all the girl them go shake their body, they go shake their body. Oluwa bona mo go no felly. Say mo go no felly. You no get money, you take up police. Me I dey love you gone. As I dey sing, they feel the bounce. Make all the people jump around. Make you dey listen well because I know if you shout. No joking around. Listen, make I tell you what it's all about. And if I tell you I see what I ain't a coconut. You sit down inside boss, you say you be boss. Hey.
Now we have some jumpiness in the video, which I'm really sorry about because they're such smooth movers, but we got a lot of jumpy moves. But anyway, you can see that they're playing together. There's a real ensemble there, and ensemble is a word we're going to hear a lot. Now, I had seen him for the first time just on YouTube, just like you do when you go along and hear a thing. And all of a sudden, I saw this. He won the best global music album of about 4 weeks ago, last month, at the 221 Grammy Award show. So you're going to watch him celebrating in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, with his family when he finds out he wins. So this is the announcement on the TV of his winning the Grammy. Here, really concentrate on the fact that musicians have to be together. We're going to hear this next one. Musicians have the responsibility, but how do they pay attention? How do they pay attention together so much that they know how to start and so on? Now, this is from the Goat Rodeo sessions that you heard at the beginning, but this is a different piece. It features Aoife O'Donovan and Chris Thiele and Stuart Duncan, Yo-Yo Ma, Edgar Meyer, and it's called Goat Rodeo because I understand that it's a word in Microsoft that stands for chaotic situations with a multitude of disparate factors requiring to converge with great precision or totally fall apart. So that's exactly what we're hearing. They're going to get together with great precision in this piece called Here in Heaven. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, just as we're not doing here. And you can tell me later if that doesn't work for you. But here we go. How do they stay together? And they're going to start. We're seeing them before they start recording. This is an in-studio recording video. And that was not what I'd expected. Oh, we're learning a lot, Alan. Do you notice that?
It's actually not looking too jumpy from here. So
okay. I guess
I did inadvertently pause it at one point.
Oh well,
the controls are a little weird. I'm gonna let you take back over. Do you want me to continue playing this song, or do you want to go on?
No, I think we're going to move on. We're going to move on to Franz Schubert because we got to find out if musicians in Europe have to learn to play together, and they do. So we'll go to the Franz Schubert String Quartet a string quintet, I should say. And we have an extra cello in there. You can see I'm a little biased being a cellist. And this is a piece I've played several times. And this is a presto from the string quintet in C major. And watch how they watch each other. Boy, they just know where they are in this piece. So here it is. We're going to listen to this whole thing because it's short, I think. I think it's very short. Okay. We barely made it with the the bows. You know, you can sure tell when the video was not on time, but you know, we're doing our best here. Now we're coming up on the Peterson family. They're bluegrass people, and you'll see the dobro on the right with the guy playing the slide with his he has a bottle in his left finger that he's sliding the pitch with, and when mom is playing the bass and dad's on the string instrument in the middle, and we got a couple of kids on violins and banjo. So this is family singing the fox. Watch how they get to, they are so together. Let's hope it works. Okay, here we go. This is the last one we're going to deal with the word ensemble. Say ensemble, everybody. Ensemble. Ensemble, that's together, being together, staying together musically. Okay, here we go.
The fox went out on a chilly night, and he prayed for the moon to bring him light, for it made him out to go that night before he reached the town. He many miles go that night before he reached the town. Till he came to the forest, and the ducks and the geese were kept their eggs. Said a couple of you were gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh. A couple of you were gonna grease my chin before I leave this town.
back and eating mine. Quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, 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 oh, eating mine. Quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down. The old gray woman jumped out of bed. Out of the window she popped her head, crying, John, John, the gray goose is gone. The fox is on the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, John, John, the gray goose is gone. The fox is on the town.
Okay, Alex, let's say that. It's too hard to watch. We really got some good film here, and but it just isn't. I don't know why it isn't. It isn't shaping up together. It's speaking of ensemble. It isn't ensemble. Anyway, the video is doing it for us. Well, let's say you can see that they're a very interesting group, and you will be able to find this easily on YouTube. Just look under the fox. Now we're going to Sweden, and we're going to see an instrument timbre, a different tone quality of a different instrument called a nyckelharpa. And the nyckelharpa is a many-stringed instrument that you will see being played in a stuga, a little house in Sweden that there's a group called Vassen. They are just a fantastic group, have been around 30 or plus years, and they have come to Seattle several times. There's a whole bunch of nyckelharpa players here in town, and I've taken some lessons and even have a nyckelharpa in my closet. I would have gotten it out for you, and then I realized it's just too hard. I need to get into my closet and do that. So you're not going to hear the timbre of the thing in real life, but watch the man who's playing it, who is very, very good, and watch his fingers. He will hit the ends of the keys with the tips of his fingers. And in doing that, the keys slide and stop the string. It's very interesting. It's related to the hurdy-gurdy in France. So here we go with Vassen playing a piece of folk music from Sweden. It'll be almost loud now. thank you for fading out so scintily. I told Ellen that we didn't want him to have it cut off like a clothesline. Isn't that a beautiful nickel harpa? Okay, this is now Zakir Hussain and Rakesh Shirazi. And you know, Zakir Hussain is so famous. Oh my. He plays for with Ravi Shankar. He plays with everybody that is big. He's very, very important and was player. What you're going to watch is him in Poland at a festival, and I'm picking this part so you can watch him tune his tabla. He has to tune his instruments a lot because they change tuning with the heat in the room and stuff like that. So watch him change his tune his tabla, and also watch the flute Bansuri that is going to be playing with him. Then join him, and they play for a bit together. We won't listen to a lot, but you'll get a chance to hear the tabla tuned. So here we go.
First we play a small Chinese piece. It's called tuning.
Look at him. you. Beautifully done, Alan. So sensitively done. Thank you. Okay, we're going to listen now to a terribly different thing. This is music at its most expressive. You know, some music has so much emotional intensity and so much joy that it just breaks out. Now, this piece is 10 minutes and 44 seconds long, and we do not have time to hear it today. But it is on the, it's so worth listening to. Do you see up there where it says Snarky Puppy? Up there in the where I'm, and I don't know if you can see my cursor, but Snarky Puppy Lingus. The album is We Like It Here, but Lingus is the name of the piece. And this man here is his genius. Larnell Lewis is a wonderful drummer. And back over here is a fantastic prodigy, Corey Henry, a black organ keyboard player. And then next to him, Sean Martin, who's also a keyboardist, but also in this Snarky Puppy group. And they are having so much fun with this piece that they just go nuts. And you're tonight, I think, Ellen, aren't you playing the one with Salif Keita, the West African singer from Mali?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But I know I put this one on in its entirety so they can watch it.
Oh, good. Well, listen, you guys, this is so worth 10 minutes and 44 seconds. I tell you, this band, they have gotten so many Grammys. I mean, speaking of Burna Boy, these people have gotten Grammys up one side and down the other. There's many players that have come and played with them and will come and go, you know. But we're near the end of this piece. We're just going to listen to the last minute and a half. I know sounds so weird, but to just watch how happy they are and how happy the audience is. Everybody is happy with music making. It's just a wonderful way to live. So here we go. Last minute and a half or so of Lingus. Now look at them hopping up and jumping up and down. There's Sean Martin. And then Corey Henry, look at them smile. Isn't that fun? Oh, they are thrilled with what they did. I tell you. And, oh my. And you will be too when you hear the whole piece. We just don't have time for that today. And look at how happy the audience is. The audience at Snarky Puppy sit among them. They don't have to sit off, separated from them. They're in among the band. And they're really something. Okay, now we go to the very opposite of this. You know, this is just cool, excellent, cool. 1962, I guess. What is this? From Brazil. Can you turn it up a little bit?
Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça. Ela, menina que vem e que passa, num doce balanço, caminho do mar.
This is João Gilberto.
Moça do corpo dourado do sol de Ipanema, o seu balançado é mais que um poema. É a coisa mais linda que eu já vi passar. Ah, porque estou tão sozinho. Ah, porque tudo é tão triste. Ah, beleza que existe. Ah, a beleza que não é só minha, que também passa sozinha. Ah, se ela soubesse que quando ela passa, o mundo sorrindo se enche de graça e fica mais lindo por causa do amor.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes by. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gently, that when she passes, each one she passes goes by. Oh, he watches sadly. Oh, can you tell her he loves her? Yes, he would give his heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at him. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, he smiles, but she doesn't see.
Here comes Stan Getz on his set. Okay. Alan? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, now then, we have vocal timbres to deal with. It's her voice and Joao Gilberto. So cool. So cool. And in this next piece, which I think some of you have already seen, the next piece is Georgia. We're returning to the US long enough to hear all the different vocal timbres. Remember the sound of the instruments, the timbre we heard, we saw the nickel harpa and we saw the bansuri, the Indian flute and the tabla. All the instruments have the timbre, the sound quality, the tone quality, which tells you what they are. And here we have voices that all have different timbres. And I think this is so cool, the way that they have each of the people sing. So they just sing for a minute so you can compare the different sounds of voices and let you know tonight in the shower, try it yourself. See how you fit and whose voice is the one you're like. I think mine's like gravel. So here we go to Georgia, sung by a whole bunch of Broadway stars.
Georgia, Georgia,
the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Georgia on my mind.
I said, Georgia,
Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear
As moonlight
Through the pines.
Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes
smile tenderly, still in peaceful dreams. I see the road leads back to you, back to you. Georgia,
Oh, Georgia.
no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia
On my mind. Other arms
reach out to me.
Other eyes smile tenderly, still in peaceful dreams.
I see
The road
leads back to you. No peace I find,
Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia
on my mind.
on my mind.
singing this song for you.
Okay, Alan, well, let's go now to Bulgaria and compare those songs those voices we just heard to the voices of this special choir, this Philippe Kute choir that is singing that very famous Theodora is Dozing, which is a Bulgarian folk song from the Rhodos Mountains in south west Bulgaria. Here they go. Now let's settle down in the Gambia, which is on West Africa, right by the river we saw in Roots, where Kunta Kinte was on a river. If you'll remember that the Gambia is a long, thin country in the middle of Senegal, and you'll see Sona Gilberto, who's a kora and guitar musician, and listen to her voice, very light and lovely. And So we'll listen to a little bit of her and watch the people that the music appeals to. I think that one of the things that I like so much about being a string player is the energy that one can play. You're going to hear this very short movement from Ernest Bloch. He's a Swiss American composer. He was born in Geneva, but he died in Portland, Oregon. They lived in Newport, Oregon at the end of his life from 1941 on. And he is really a fine composer, boy, really first class stuff. And his music now is becoming more popular and more often played. He's, I guess, been passed away long enough. I don't know. But anyway, I'm a very big fan of his cello piece, Shlomo. And this concerto grosso you're going to hear for string orchestra and piano is are so energetic. It's written in with huge bows, vigorous. And watch, this player, this conductor has the Philharmonic Orchestra of Radio France standing up and playing. The violinists are all standing. The violists are standing. The cellos get to sit, but the basses have to stand. And they're all just pulling on their instruments, and the energy they're giving. It's what a lot of musicians really care about, the energy of playing. They love that part. So we're going to listen to this one movement of this 5-movement concerto grosso of Ernest Bloch. Yes. Oh my, it's such a lovely piece. Okay, now we have Ranky Tanky yet to go. And Ranky Tanky is a Gullah group from Georgia Sea Islands. They really live, I guess, now in Charleston, South Carolina. And we have now come to the end of our hour. But I decided that we'd play this. It's 6 minutes and 58 seconds, and you don't all need to listen to it or stay for it. I think I'm going to bid you goodbye before we start so that you can feel free to exit when you feel up to it. This is a very interesting piece in that it shows how many African Americans have paid each other's rent or given concerts or given gatherings at which they gather money together to stop evictions and to help with needs. It's sort of a bank loan kind of thing in the middle of life. And so what you're going to start here is nothing happening, just a street corner in Charleston. And then suddenly there's going to be, there's a place that is going to be evicted, and you're going to watch the people decide to join them and have a celebration so that they can pay the rent, and people bringing money and getting buses and busing people in order to pay for the rent. And of course that stride piano, rent house piano, many different kinds of music have been used in that way, as you know. So this is kind of ending up back home with our with the Gullah Sea Islands. And I at some point will tell you about a very interesting story about Gullah, because the Gullah Sea Islands are where people from Sierra Leone were sold and brought as slaves. They were rice growers, and rice needs people who understand how to do stuff with the rice. And so it's very specialized, unique people that could grow it, and were very high priced, and were brought from Sierra Leone. And they've established contact in the Gullah Sea Islands with families in a village in Sierra Leone. It's a wonderful story. Okay, so I will now turn it over to Ranky Tanky. Good time, and thank you for coming. And let us know if this was too frustrating for the shortness of the things, and hard to see the film cooperating with the sound, but it was worth the risk, and I appreciate your hanging in there. Thank you. Bye.
Heat waves and floods have been setting records all over the world. Temperatures of over 100 degrees are...
I missed the limbo bar. Yeah, well, music business is a very risky one, and there have been performers through the years who've been with us for 2 or 3 hits and then disappeared. It seemed that the twist was going to be here to stay at last, and did produce one of the most exciting.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
Good time, a good time.
We gon' have a time.
When we
all get together, we gon' have a time.
I got a letter from Tennessee. love cabbage. One of these days, it won't be long. You look for me here, and I'll be gone. Oh, baby. 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 Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. Good time, a good time. We gon' have a time. When we all get together, we gon' have a time.
Are you there, Ellen?
All right.
Oh, Carol, you're there.
Yes, here I am.
Good.
Thank you so much, Barbara. That was amazing. That was
Oh,
so
it was
good.
so much fun.
It
Oh
was
my
great.
God.
It was wonderful. It was great. Thank you. We loved it.
I am so sorry that the instrument, you know, the video didn't. Isn't that
Oh,
fun?
it was
Because it always
wonderful.
did. Well, anyway,
Oh,
the
gosh.
music's good. You know, it doesn't matter if it.
It was great, Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so much.
the verdict came in guilty on all counts.
Because I'm so happy for our
Yes.
country.
Yep,
I
just
am so
like
happy for
10
our
minutes
country.
ago.
Oh,
And-
fantastic.
And if
Wow.
anyone wants to watch a live version of The Girl from Ipanema, that'll be happening at 6:56 tonight.
Okay.
It was record of the year 1965, recorded 1963.
Yep.
What did he say?
Just adding the
It's gonna
info.
be-
But thank you, Barbara. If anybody
Oh.
else wants to speak, please be in touch with me. Does anyone have any questions for Barbara before we end this?
That he sent out.
That was wonderful.
YouTube, I think it's on YouTube.
Well, it's just so good of you to come. My gosh, I can't get over it. I can't get over being up against the verdict of the George Floyd trial. How's that for
It's amazing.
a competition?
Amazing. You're up to the challenge,
Yeah.
Barbara. And if anybody wants to see those
Well-
links, I have them. Just be in touch with me. I'll be happy to get them to you. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Okay.
Thank
You too. Thank you, all everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.